It's not about, oh, well, you've missed it, so, oh, well, start all over again. It's just, okay, pick up where you left off.
Yeah.
In the end, it's something that is so worth doing. And look, I like it because there is science behind it as well, as the woo-woo, but I love the woo-woo side too. So
there's actually a lot of science behind meditation, and it's it helps bring down blood pressure. There's evidence for that. There's evidence for all sorts of physical changes that can be graphed and research, not just in the woo side of things and in the qualitative side, but the quantitative side of research is there for meditation as well, which is absolutely brilliant. Hello and welcome. Mentoring with Geraldine is a bite-sized practitioner podcast for naturopaths, nutritionists, herbalists, and practitioners. This podcast responds directly to your needs, the needs of the practicing natural therapist. With interviews, herbal discussions, something business and something clinical each week, you'll get the variety you need and enjoy to stay motivated in practice. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mentoring with Geraldine and the Bite Size Podcast. And today I've got Christine Dashper here with me, and she was at my virtual retreat, not only as an attendee, but she gave us an amazing meditation. Now, Christine is a naturopath and an aromatherapist, and last year she gave us aromatherapy balls, which I purchased enough aromatherapy balls for roller balls for everybody who came to the virtual retreat. So she's multi-talented. So she practices Reiki, and now we've got this meditation, and the meditation was lovely. So I thought, let's have you on the show so that you can talk to people about your meditation and how you got into it and how you use it in your business. So thank you for coming, Christine.
Thanks, Geraldine.
How do you use meditation within your practice? Is it online? I mean, you're in Melbourne. How is it? How are you using it?
Well, yes, it is online for obvious reasons, and it'll be online for a little while. I originally started out thinking about doing it online and in person, and hopefully next year that's what it will extend to. But right now, that's what it is, and I have a 6-week course that I've written, and it's themed really initially around self-care and looking after yourself, particularly at this difficult time for everybody. So that's where that's come from, and I decided to gain a meditation certification because I realised when I'm seeing my naturopathic clients that certainly there's physical things that they need help with, but there's so much mental health, for want of a better expression, things that they also need, not necessarily, and I'm not qualified to give them therapy, but certainly I found personally that meditation has changed a lot of things for me, and that's what sort of put me on that road, that direction.
Yeah, it's a great modality. I use visualizations a lot with my clients. As you know, I use them in practice and I use them in the groups because you're part of my groups. So I use visualization a lot, but meditation is different. You have a lot more pauses in the meditation, which of course you don't have in a visualization. You have a lot more of the thinking of self as you're going through a meditation. And so when you developed your 6-week course, the self-care course, how did you feel, how did you create that flow for the course over a 6-week period? Because these things, it's always hard thinking of what to put in a program. But with a meditation program, did you find it difficult? Did you find it easy? What did you put in the program?
I found it somewhere between difficult and easy. I actually enjoyed the training so much, and I have actually combined different types of meditation in there. So we're looking at visualizations for some of them. Some of them are like more physically centered, with concentrating on the breath and physical relaxation. So I've sort of themed it. Each week's a little bit different in that respect, and it gives people a choice, I suppose, too. It gives people a range of different types of meditations that will help them ongoing into the future. And it's certainly it is effective, and I'm trying to work out a way to sort of be able to supply people with daily meditations over time, so that they can begin to make it a practice for themselves.
Yeah, that is the thing, isn't it? It's changing practice, it's changing habits, and it's bringing new habits into our practice and new behaviors and implementing things. So, I mean, it's like podcasting. You know, you listen to a podcast, you listen to another one, then you'll have a break, and then you'll have a splurge again, like Netflix, isn't it? You'll sit in front of Netflix and you watch an entire series, and then you'll go back to normal TV watching the news, or you'll be asking around, what's the next series I can binge on? And so with bringing in these new habits, though, it's very different to binging on something. It's like, how am I going to bring in these habits? So how do you encourage people to bring in the habit of meditation into their life?
Well, I try and keep it simple, because I know what I'm like with a habit, and it takes some self-discipline. And so I try and keep it simple, and I guess help them to see that it doesn't all have to be sitting for hours, ramrod straight, and just with your eyes shut and everything. It can be a really 10-15 minute thing once a day. And I've proven to myself that since I took up the training and got into a practice daily, and I can assure you I don't sit there necessarily for 20-30 minutes a day, which is nice. It looks fantastic if you can do it. But I feel it's better to get the overall ongoing benefit. And I think there's more chance that people will do that in their daily lives than, and again, that's nothing against longer meditations. And the ones I give in my course are long, they're 25 or so minutes. But that's where my sort of basis for building the course has come from. And also things like, if you miss a day, don't beat yourself up. Like it's you, in the end, it's about people doing it for themselves. And that's what I love about it. And I can actually say that I have noticed a change in my sleep and the way I handle things in terms of life in general. And I really have. I'm not just sort of paying lip service to that. So, and I also found with my naturopathy clients, a lot of what they needed to do was changing a habit or developing a habit. And I thought, well, this might be a way to ease them into that, rather than sort of saying, well, you need to do this, and this, just cold turkey, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the difficulties, isn't it, with your clients, is getting them to do the work. It's all very well saying, go and do this, but that's just not going to work. There has to be a way to incorporate it into their lives, and there's the negotiation to get it in there, the development of the idea in their practice of how they're going to do it, where they're going to put it, and what they're going to do when they fall off the wagon as well. So, they've done their meditation for a few days and they've drunk their water and they've done all the good things, and then it's Saturday night and they go out and they wake up on Sunday and they go, oh, well, I've messed it up now, I won't do it. So it's getting them to understand that, yeah, you can have Sunday off.
And I'm very much about that. It's not about, oh, well, you've missed it, so, oh, well, start all over again. It's just, okay, pick up where you left off. In the end, it's something that is so worth doing. And look, I like it because there is science behind it as well, as the woo-woo, but I love the woo-woo side too. So
there's actually a lot of science behind meditation, and it's it helps bring down blood pressure. There's evidence for that. There's evidence for all sorts of physical changes that can be graphed and research, not just in the woo side of things and in the qualitative side, but the quantitative side of research is there for meditation as well, which is absolutely brilliant. So you've got a 6-week course going on for your clients and for anybody else who wants to join in, as well as being a practitioner online. But will you be going back out are you going to be looking for rooms once things change in Victoria?
I will probably work from home like I am at the moment. I've got an office set up at home, and at this point in time, I will probably stick with that for the time being, and we'll just see how things go next year when things open up more. And
so that's great. So people can get hold of you online. So it doesn't matter where they are, and as long as the time zone works. And it's they're recorded, so it wouldn't actually matter if you're in the wrong time zone anyway, because
No, because what I've done with this group is because I've only just started the group, I'm about to create a private Facebook page. So I'll be putting the recordings into those each week, along with other health tips or any info about meditation, any extra information. If people want it, then it's there. Yeah. And even things like how to set up your room or your space, that you don't give yourself that privacy and a bit of quiet in the day.
Yeah, that's absolutely brilliant. Yeah. Well, thank you very much for being our meditation facilitator on the virtual retreat in the Academy. We all absolutely loved it. And thank you very much for coming on the podcast and telling us a bit more about yourself and your practice.
Thank you so much, Geraldine. I really appreciate the opportunity. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, everyone. And everyone, you know the deal. If you've really enjoyed today and you've stayed to the end, make sure you give us a 5-star review. You know the one. Thanks, everyone, and we'll see you soon. Thanks so much for joining me today. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast for the weekly episodes. If you'd like even more support and learning, then the Academy is for you. Here you'll find part 2 of the herbal discussions, more clinical learning, and case studies to support your clients in practice. Bye for now.